What do you think is the biggest thing that's either coming or that we're already in the works with evolution?
Oh man, I'll tell you what. I mean, there's, I'd love to mention the rod game, but obviously everyone's doing it, and I think I don't know what else we can do on the rod game. I mean, tackle, bringing tungsten to the marketplace more. Obviously, that's happening. Using materials like we've done with these new silkies, I think that's on to something where you're not using bait, not using plastics even. That's new. But I'll be honest, probably Ross, I would have to say it's the electronics game. I mean, it's if you have to ask me what in right now that's really evolving rapidly and changing the way we truly fish. I mean, I understand somebody might pick up a spring bobber for the first time. I understand that. Somebody might decide to use tungsten. I get it. Somebody might buy a float suit. Great. But when you look at some of the technology behind some of the sonar, this targeting applications, whether it's panoptics, live scope, or, 360 imaging. Oh my gosh, man! I remember a day where, and we're younger than most, Ross, but I remember a day even in my life where I didn't even have a GPS, and I had to go out and rip a crap ton of holes just to find the darn spot I fished 3 days ago to get on the fish, or look at a shoreline, or oh man, there's a dock, or hey, there's a silo, or there's this. Now these guys can go out there with, a GPS in their hand, get right on the spot, and then boom, punch a hole and scan the entire area and find that darn rock pile or school of fish 37 feet that direction. I mean, to me, that's what's.
I would agree with that. And the thing that always just surprises me with fishermen, because like I've got some big screen units on my Argo and my sled and stuff like that. People are like, oh, I can't believe you did. I'm like, it cost me about less than $100 to do that because I already had that unit from my boat. So whatever you have, you get an extra bracket and a power cord and you just move it because you aren't using that boat, generally speaking, if we're ice fishing, right?
Right.
And yeah, I mean, like for me, I use the Lake Master stuff on the Great Lakes and the contours, and I can literally now, even though Erie's a huge place and it's a big mud bowl in a lot of the places we're fishing, some of those little contours that you can't really even hardly see in a map or anything, but I mean, just those little subtle changes, I can drive to them. And it's funny because when some of that mapping became available, I don't know if you've experienced something like this, a lot of the waypoints, because I've got separate stuff for my ice fishing, and when you lock that in, and then I put that really not, we had mapping, but now we've got like really good mapping. And when I put that new mapping in, and all of a sudden all of my waypoints started to make sense.
Yeah.
Because and you're like, oh, you just feel like you wasted so much time because I did it the hard way. Like I fished through it, and and like you said, that was a big deal. But now, just today while we were setting this up, I looked at one of the ice team guys that was fishing with Dave and a couple of the guys a day or two ago, and they made a comment in their post there about they've never drove so many holes because the fish were moving at rapid pace and they were trying to figure out which way they went. Sure. And again, that's a deal where, like I'm using the 360 stuff, I can literally look and see 100 feet which way they're going, so I don't have to make a bunch of extra noise. I don't have to have 6 guys fishing to say, hey, they went left or right, north, south, whatever it would be. And that doesn't even take into account, like you said, almost all the manufacturers now having a live sonar that is almost like a video game. I mean, hopefully that gets kids, more younger generation, into it, because that's like a real world video game.
I think so. And I think there's always, we always got room for our flasher. And like I said, I'm a Vexilar guy, and I always will be. It's my intimate tool to catch fish, right? But when you look at some of these systems, like I've been fishing with guys that have been running the live scope, the the 360 stuff. And as much as I hate to say it, like, and I'm guilty of, I got one on order. I'm jumping on the bandwagon because